attractive returns, then I will showcase what is the return we have generated in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and the transparency in the product. So we give complete digital access, and since the day you contribute, since it is invested, so you get the complete transparency. Then your NPS account, call it PRAN, that permanent retirement account. So we call it permanent retirement because it's portable. For example, you are working somewhere and you are not working there, you can port your PRAN account number. And the cost is very low, and including fund management and the distribution cost is 0.3%. And the flexible choices are given, the auto choice or active choice, and even the pension funds are also decide on behalf of the customer through the multiple scheme framework. And tax efficient, this is the one product where the government is blessing the product through the new tax regime or the old tax regime. This is the only product in the country which is having the benefits in both the tax regimes. So there are 3 variants of NPS. One is the all citizens model and the corporate model, where your employer is offering the NPS. And all citizens model is you voluntarily take the NPS on your own by approaching the point of presence or by approaching any distributors, or you can directly also open the account. Then 2 years back we also launched for NPS for minors, so which is NPS Vasalya. So that is also picking up very well. And in Tamil Nadu, this NPS Vasalya, maybe it's in the 2nd or 3rd position in terms of all India ranking. So I will be sharing some data. So there are 2 types of account, tier 1 and tier 2, and most of you are having NPS account, you must be familiar. So tier 2 is like your investment account, and invest and you take out money the day you want, and anytime you can invest, anytime you can take out. Tier 1 account is your core pension account, where there are restrictions. There are restrictions because it's a retirement account. Of course, on some emergencies you can take 25% of your contributions. After 3 years, if you are in NPS, then 3 times you can take, and 3 years should be the period between 2 withdrawals. So active choice, auto choice, then in active choice you decide your asset allocation, whereas in auto choice, based on your life cycle. So life cycle, where the NPS was the producer of this concept, maker of this concept, life cycle, maybe 15-20 years, 15-16 years back. Now it is becoming popular, even in mutual fund industry they are trying to implement it. And in auto choice there are basically 4 choices. One is the LC75, LC50, LC25, then there is an aggressive life cycle fund. And between choices you can move your money, there is no tax. Unlike in mutual fund, for example, in mutual fund scheme 1 to 2, if you are moving, there is a capital gain tax, and here there is no capital gain tax. In active choice, you decide your asset allocation between these 3 major asset classes, ECG, and even in ECG, under E, there are various types. For example, there is a public equity and private equity also available, and commodities and REIT also part of equity. In corporate bond, the InvIT is part of that. So multiple scheme framework we implemented last year, where the pension funds are deciding the asset allocation. So why we launched multiple scheme framework a year back, which is having somewhere around 3 lakh customers, and nearly 900 crore corpus is collected. Here the pension funds are launching this multiple scheme framework for targeted persona, for example, digital economy workers, or for corporate employees, or for women and children. And they are trying to add value-added benefits. For example, some companies, pension fund companies, are offering insurance, and health insurance also being offered, and e-will services, and free doctor consultation, and all these things. And in MSF, the schemes are being demarcated or designed in such a way that the asset allocation is different between equity, corporate bonds, and government securities. And these pension funds are also establishing tie-up with the POPs for distributing these products. So this is what the returns, and you can compare it with any best performing mutual fund. You can see the returns based on the equity, the investment returns between 3, 5 and 10, 15 years. It varies between 12.25 to 13.15%. you can check these returns in the NPS Trust website. So in other asset classes, for example, in government scheme also, we have generated for a long-term basis 9.07 and state government scheme 9.16. The corporate bonds, it's 9.19. In G tier 1, it's 8.52. This is our equity universe, and we invest, if you see that 18.4 lakh crores, out of that somewhere around 5 lakh crore is my equity universe, where 72% are invested in the top 50 companies, and we also invest in commodities and REIT InvIT. Then we allow investment up to top 250 stocks. In 200 stocks, 90%, and 10% we allow in the 201 to 250th stock. So this is based on the returns, based on the life cycle. For example, a 55-year-old person, had he invested 5, 10, 15 years back, this is the returns he would have got. These are all the calculated, not based on any projection, based on my actual NAV movement. If you see that in LC 75, where 75% equity is there, based on the age, there will be a tapering. So it has generated 11.18% return. So this is what the returns generated under NPS. As I mentioned to you, this NPS is the national pension system wherein you get tax benefits whether you are in old tax or maybe in the new tax regime. And partial withdrawal is completely tax exempt. 25% you can take, and after 3 years of being in NPS, you can take 4 times you can take, and there should be a difference between 4 years between two kind of withdrawals. So then there is a exclusive tax benefits under old tax regime for 50,000 rupees. And if you are an employer-employee based, then up to 14% of the employer contribution you get tax benefits. Of course, there is a cap of 7.5 lakhs. Cap is there, wherein all your superannuation contribution will be clubbed here. So this is the phenomena, or maybe the improvement we have done in the product in the past 1 year. Earlier, when you are becoming a member of NPS, then you have to exit only at the age of 60, even though premature exit is allowed. But your normal exit, we call it at 60 years. Now, seeing the working pattern of the people, and many people are getting employed in the private companies, and 60 years is the norm which is designed for NPS based on the government mindset, because the government employees, it was launched originally. So we kept it retirement or the exit at 60 years. Now we kept it at 15 years to exit from the NPS scheme, even though you can exit any time, even before 15 years, and there is no lock-in period. Maybe you can join today, and if your corpus is up to 5 lakhs, you can take out completely the 5 lakhs money, then you can exit any time. But for normal exit, it's 15 years is the time you have to be in NPS. And even for after spending 15 years, and if your corpus is up to 8 lakhs, and there is no need for buying an annuity, but if your corpus is between 8 to 12 lakhs, up to 6 lakhs you can take cash, and the balance amount above 6 lakhs, then you have to take minimum 6 years of annuity or maybe the systematic unit redemption that you can take, so that the complete money is in your control, so you can spend the wealth whatever you have created through NPS the way you want. And in case of death, the complete corpus in case of non-government sector is given to the nominees or the legal heirs. So recently we have come out with the retirement income scheme. So 80% of the corpus at the time of your exit, after spending 15 years, you can take it out lump sum. But many people, what they do is, since 80% is a huge money of the wealth what you have created, so they want to continue in NPS. So we are seeing that trend from the exiting NPS customer, they want to continue. So we created a retirement income scheme. So from this 80% of the corpus, periodically you take out. For example, I want a fixed amount, then you go for systematic payout, SPR, or you want to redeem your unit. Then based on of course the amount will not be uniform across in case of SUR, then you systematically redeem your unit. So these are all the new 2 payout structure which we created. And the retirement income scheme is also having a glide path. For example, even you are retiring after 15 years. For example, at the age of 45 you are retiring. Then maybe at the age of 60 you are retiring. Then your corpus will be allocated between government securities and corporate bonds and equity. Then equity will have 35% exposure. That will gradually, that middle line is the equity. Then the top line is the government securities. Government securities, it starts with 55%, it reaches around 70%. Whereas the equity from 35%, it is tapering at the age of 80 or 85, it is tapering up to 10%. Then the corporate bond also, it starts with the 10%, then it gradually increases, then comes down to 11 or 12%. So this glide path allows the customers, NPS customers, to manage their retirement income, that 80% of the money in a very optimum manner, that 20% which we have to mandatorily use for annuity, that you can take at the age of 85 years. So that your annuity rate also will be, because the residual life of a person taking an annuity at the age of 85 will be more, so that the expected residual life, so that the annuity rate also will be more. So this is another innovative product we have tested in sandbox. It has come out very nicely, that successfully it has come out, where my pension funds, which are going to tie up with you, all as a pension agents or pension distributors, they are tying up with the hospital and they are tying up with that hospital service providers to offer this product. NPS is not only for creating retirement wealth. In case of emergency, you can use it for your health and paying your health insurance premium and so many other things. So there are the minimum contribution for joining this income, this particular scheme is 25,000 rupees. But for example, in case of any hospital emergency, if your requirement is more than 75%, you can completely close the account and you can come out of NPS. The 15 years continuing in this account is not at all required. But if there is no health emergency, you can continue as a normal NPS account. So this is the very successful scheme or product of PFRDA, which is the Vatsalya. Even in the past 1 year, we have opened somewhere around 2.5 lakh accounts, and which is having a corpus of some 350 crores. So here the parents or the guardian, they are opening the account for their minor son or daughter. So just born babies also they can open. So this account will be operated by the parent until the child or their son or daughter is reaching the 18 years. After 18 years, then this account will become a normal NPS account. We will do the KYC for the son or daughter, then it will become a normal account. So this is one important data. Maybe you may be interested, since you are in mutual fund business, then all data, it will be of great interest to you. So we have identified some 9 or 10 cities, very popular cities, where NPS is very popular, and it starts, for example, for every 100 account, or maybe the 100 account what PFRDA is holding, the more than 10 accounts are in the top 4 cities, which is New Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune. But in Chennai, despite having the huge potential, it is less than 10. This is one important data. Then in terms of corpus, for every 100 crore corpus, I said about the 3.8 lakh crores from the non-government. In that, if I convert it normalized to 100 crores, then the Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, then Pune, it is having more than 10 rupees for each, 10 crores for each 100 crores. Whereas Chennai is only somewhere around 7 out of 10 rupees or 7 crore out of 100 crores. Then in terms of the 3 important products which we are here to partner with you, which is the NPS corporate, of course, you will be tying with the POP to deal with this particular product. But for all citizens, and Vatsalya will be your main target. Here also we have come out with some data of the 4 important states or 5 important states, and in this all important 3 different products, 3 states are common, coming in the top 5, which are Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Maharashtra. In case of corporate, the Maharashtra is topping and Karnataka is the 2nd place and Tamil Nadu is in the 4th place. And whereas in the all citizens model, the Maharashtra and UP, Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka is in the top 1, 2, 3. And Vatsalya, we can see that Tamil Nadu is doing well, and in terms of the savings in the Vatsalya account also, the Tamil Nadu, for example, if you see the Tamil Nadu, it's 18% of the, 16% of the customers are from Tamil Nadu, whereas they contribute 28%. So they are saving more for their son and daughters than for themselves. So that is one important data. Then this also data may be interesting to you, since for Chennai Chengalpattu and Tiruvallur, Chennai and surrounding areas are very dominant in NPS outreach. And one surprise city, which is Tenkasi, I don't know what is the reason, maybe you can tell. Tenkasi also popular in all citizens. Maybe somebody can tell, is it because of Zogo? Zogo, maybe the reason. Then Vasalya, Salem is in the one of the top 5 cities. And Madurai in corporate. I don't know why Madurai is in one of the top 5 cities. Then, see this NPS we started in 2009. Okay. So 2009 we started and we have grown steadily, maybe not very exponentially. But when we see before coming for this event, we did some data analysis. From 1st October 2025 and till date, we have opened somewhere around 18-19 lakh accounts, which is equivalent to 20% of what we did from 2009. So the 16-year performance, if you see, 20% of the account has come in the last 1 year. Because there is a reason. What is the reason we have identified? One is the asset classes are diversified. Now I mentioned about expansion of the equity universe, and also private equity also we are going to allow some little bit, maybe the 1% to 5% we are going to allow. And diverse investment choices are given, and alternate investment funds through that. For example, in mutual fund, in any of your large cap or mid cap, there is no alternate investment fund. We happen to interact with one of the leading mutual fund company, which is Parag Parekh. They told in mutual fund, we don't allow this alternate, but in NPS, we are going to allow that. It gives an opportunity for diversify and also enhance your returns. Then we are taking a lot of initiatives for awareness. Maybe we are planning to conduct 400, 500 events. Then the retirement income scheme. You don't come out of NPS, you be in NPS, then you get the retirement income. So that is also another thing. Then new pension funds. Currently we have 10 pension funds, then 4 more we are going to add, which is the Parag Parekh and Motilal Oswal and Bank of Baroda and Bajaj Life. So these are all the license we have given recently. Then these digital toolkits, for example, through Beam, we can open an account. We have come out, it will be available in PhonePe very soon. Then for the mutual fund distributors like you, we have built an exclusive platform, StAR. And our Kolkata event, we have 500 participants like you. And on the day 1, we got 100 agents onboarded into NPS. And we are issuing StAR NPS user credentials to them, and they will be tying up and they will be start dealing and start distributing NPS. Then we also created the Pension Sahayak. This is a portal. Even if you are not an NPS customer or if you are an NPS customer, you can try to log in, and it is a AI-enabled portal where you can just raise some queries and it gives that information also. It's available in the pension PFRDA website. And also the Pride portal. For example, earlier scheme-wise we used to showcase the returns. Now based on the life cycle or based on the active choice of the customer, we are giving the returns generated based on the NAVs declared in the past. Since the day 2009 onwards, we have the NAVs, and we have somewhere around 1.2 lakh NAV data points. Around 5,000 days NAV. Based on that, we have created, and you can go and access it. And this is one important slide. I think this may have interest to you. Earlier, the commission structure for the POPs will be between 0.25% to 0.5%. That too only at the contribution stage. And earlier the problem is customer comes through an agent and they open the account, then they go to the other digital channels for contributions. Now we have streamlined the process. Now there is a source coding is made. For example, whoever is opening the account, whichever channel the customer is contributing, the distributor is going to get the commission of 0.2%. So in mutual fund that is not the case. For example, in mutual fund, the contribution coming through that particular agent only, that commission will be paid. But in NPS, based on the source tagging, then you will be getting the commission, whichever channel the customer is coming. So focus on distribution and the customer coming through other channels, then the commission structure is protected. So this is the presentation from our side, and thank you for listening.
Actually, we need to think of all these financial instruments much as all of you, when you deal with your customers, you must be taking so many questions from them. They must be asking, should I put my money in this scheme, in that product? And many of you, irrespective of whatever the rules might say, you end up becoming like advisors to your customers. Customers actually do not have enough information. They are not educated sufficiently in the financial sector. So I remember way back, so I spent about nearly, 6.5 to 7 years in SEBI in 2007 to 13. And in those days, nobody really talked about mutual funds. So SEBI was trying very, very hard to introduce mutual funds, and I think that concept of regular and direct, all these things were being experimented with. But I must congratulate all of you for having taken this product and explained it to all your customers. That put your money in for the long run and it will grow. It is actually the power of compounding. But today, after maybe say 15 years of the era when mutual funds really, were struggling to grow as a product, today mutual funds are now common. Everybody says mutual funds, SIP, etc. But the shocking statistic that I got from the ICICI head Ramann was the average holding of a mutual fund in our country is 2.5 years. So customer behavior has overtaken the product. Today people are treating a mutual fund like an ATM. The younger crowd especially, and I have nothing against the younger crowd enjoying themselves, going out, taking holidays. Maybe we old people didn't do that when we were young. But the fact remains that today nobody thinks twice about drawing down their mutual fund and going on a holiday, buying a television. So the way people are treating the mutual fund is what I am talking about. It is no longer seen as a long-term saving product. It is as if this is the money that I am going to use for living my life well. And this is where I think we are, as a national duty, it's really nothing to do with the fact that NPS versus mutual fund versus PPF, that debate can go on and on. But as a national duty, it is important for us to stand up and tell everybody that you must have long-term savings. And that is the only point that we have to drive home. Amongst all your customers, you have to give them the message that there is a product called mutual fund, there's a product called NPS, there are other saving products like National Savings Certificate, PPF, you name it. Please tell them about how the benefits are different. Please tell them about the taxability. All these are important points. But most important is the fact that people cannot misuse, people cannot draw down from the NPS account. It is difficult to draw down, and I am making this point to all of you because all of you are very learned and educated when it comes to financial products. We must all hold some financial instrument in our hand which carries us to a much later period of life. Go to the NPS Trust calculator, you can do it right now as you're sitting, and just put in some numbers, 5,000 rupees every month, 2,000 rupees every month, do it for a period of 25 years. The assumption is that you will keep getting the returns as they are today. That's the only, sort of slight assumption that is made over there. But you see the power of compounding. I'm not even saying take 100% equity. Take the government scheme which has run for the last 20 years. As Mohan said, it started as a scheme for government officials to move them from defined benefit to defined contribution. That asset allocation, which today is roughly 25% equity, 55% government debt, government bonds, and the remaining is corporate bonds. This asset allocation has given 9.5% year on year for the last 18 years. And therefore you will see the calculator giving you some extraordinary returns. This is the point that we have to drive home. This is the point that all citizens in our country must understand, that they must hold on to their NPS account to put whatever money you can at any point of time. So we have removed what is called a distribution or a contribution fee or transaction fee. I think there was some 3 rupees or 3 rupees 50 paisa every time you put money into your NPS account. It's the biggest discouragement that we can think of. Why will you charge people to put money into their own account? So we have actually cleaned up the product, the design in many, many different ways. I'm sure there are still some good suggestions which may come from people like you. We're happy to make the product more and more meaningful, to make it more engaging for the subscriber. Even people like yourselves, you will be able to talk to your customers for 35 years, saying you have a product called NPS and it will run for 35 years. Because typically people start between 25 and 30 and they exit the NPS around 70 years, 75 years. Now we have taken that exit age all the way up to 85. So till 85 you can remain in the product. The very fact that you have a product which people engage with for such a long period of time is one of the reasons why many distributors have told me, whether it is people like yourself or the big banks, they have understood that keeping engaged with the customer is equally important. You want to be able to talk to the customer about some product or the other and advise them as they go along. We have looked at the NPS from a wider perspective. And the biggest message that we got from the market was that NPS is associated with retirement, and at retirement, it could be 55 years, it could be 65 years, the cost of healthcare becomes astronomical. It becomes so high. Please advise all your corporate friends, corporate customers, people who are sitting in companies who are enjoying the benefit of corporate health insurance. One day when you retire, it's going to disappear. Suddenly you will be standing without a health insurance because you never thought about taking a health insurance because the company was giving you one. That health insurance at 60 will either not be offered to you because insurance companies don't want to offer you a health plan, or they will charge you anywhere between 60 to 80,000 rupees per year for that health insurance. So therefore we came up, as I said, entirely because of well-meaning people who are in the insurance industry. They said, let us bundle a product, and that is what we have created under NPS Swasthya. It's an excellent product. I will buy it, Ashutosh will buy it. I'm sure all of you will also buy it once we launch it. In another 30 days, we should probably be able to launch it. It does two things. It tells you to hold money in your own pension account so that when you are in need of money, when you are hospitalized, you have your share of money to pay. No hospital bill is ever fully covered by insurance. We always end up paying some money from our side. But using this design, we are now saying, hold 30,000 rupees in your account. You don't go to a hospital, great for you. Keep earning market returns as the NPS allocation gives you. If you are in a 35% equity or a 15% equity, that's your choice. But keep earning market returns for that 30,000 rupees. And the time you need to go to hospital, you need to pay your deductible. So your 30,000 or whatever it has become, becomes the deductible for you. Once you have paid the deductible, then the top-up insurance, which the pension fund has secured for you, that top-up insurance will come and pay the 3 lakh or 4 lakh as the share of the insurance company. So we have bundled a product where it is a co-pay or a deductible as it is known. You bring in your part. Typically the top-up insurance gives you about 8 to 10 times. So if you put in 30,000 rupees, you probably will get a top-up insurance for 3 lakh or thereabouts. And that is how you do not need an expensive base plan or a health insurance plan. You are managing with your dedicated pension amount, which you have stored in a pension swasthya account, and you are getting a top-up insurance. You will be shocked, and I was shocked when I saw the rate at which they offer top-up insurance under a group scheme. So the pension fund acts as the policy holder, as the group policy holder. They are giving you a top-up insurance of typically 3 to 4 lakhs with a premium amount of 3,000 rupees a year. Pension planning in NPS is the best. If you are lucky and you die while you have your money in the NPS account till the age of 85, your ability to transfer your assets to your next of kin is seamless and at zero tax. So the beauty of NPS is that whenever you move from one scheme to another, there is no incidence of tax. Because NPS is not a capital asset, it can never attract capital gains. NPS is about income. It gives you an income yield. Therefore, you are taxed for your annuity at whatever tax slab you may be at. We have done a detailed calculation which shows that over a period of 50 years, by utilizing the partial withdrawal, which becomes more frequent after the age of 60, by utilizing the change of schemes that are available, which if you change the scheme in a mutual fund, you end up getting straight away a 12.5% capital gains on that. But in NPS, that change of scheme is tax-free. So we realize that if you calculate this entire comparison, and I'm making the comparison only because all of you understand the mutual fund product extremely well. How will you tell your customers that NPS is something that sits alongside the mutual fund? So hold the mutual fund, but certainly hold the NPS, because its benefits are altogether different, and of course it is a long-term product. You are not allowed to keep withdrawing from it, and that I think is the biggest benefit of holding the NPS product. So the taxation structure is such that if I were to do this entire tax calculation using all the benefits of a mutual fund and an NPS, the total tax paid as a percentage of the AUM is roughly about 40% lower in NPS as compared to what you would have in a mutual fund. So I think we need to, one, as PFRDA, all our partners, the pension funds, the banks, the CRAs, we all need to do many more outreach programs. We need to come and talk about the benefits of NPS. We need to do national campaigns, which we are soon going to start. So how do we create the awareness? And I think all of you sitting in this room have maybe 500 to 5,000 customers who you are dealing with. You all are the natural agents and the natural allies of the NPS system, where you will be able to communicate to all your customers how there are different products and each product is to be used wisely. So I would be really happy. I was told in the last meeting that we did in Calcutta that for you to join the NPS system as a pension agent, you need to choose a particular POP. So you may choose one of the pension funds as your POP. You need to have some sort of an agreement between yourself and the POP. All that has been made very, very simple. And I really congratulate the BSc team for having been working so proactively on this entire software piece. And what I truly enjoy about making everything digital is that there is peace of mind for everybody. There's peace of mind for you because it's a simple product, there's no paperwork, all the data comes to you, whatever is needed will come to you through various files. And there is peace of mind for the customer because nobody can do anything wrong once you're on a digital platform. So all the money will go through to where it has to go through. So there is a ease of doing business which I think we have achieved, and I'm really glad that the BSc system, whether it is on the capital market side or whether it is on the NPS side, we have all proved very well how we can make systems work more efficiently and how the cost of doing business can come down. Actually, when you look at the StAR NPS system that has been created, it is seamless and it is at a very low cost. Look at it from a 25-year period where you will be earning your trail commission over that period of time. And I don't even want to get into the debate of what is the commission here and what is the commission there, because the moment we go to the insurance industry, commissions go through the roof. But we are all about good advice, sound advice. We are saying all financial products are needed. I need a term life, but unfortunately I am sold a ULIP. This is the problem in our country. Because I don't understand the difference between term life and ULIP. Somebody tells me something, we have to check this. We have to be honest to what the customer needs, and we have to deliver different products depending on what the customer needs. So all I'm saying is that get into this journey, move into it, try and experiment with your current set of customers, give us a feedback as to what is it that you further need. I think we're more than happy to work on that feedback and make the systems better. So I don't want to sort of take up more of your time, but I'll be more than happy to sort of hear from you, because I think what we want really is to hear from you as to how you will engage with this product. Thank you so much.